Hey guys, Prowl 1701 here, and today we're going to talk about some Doctor Who, and let's address the Neil Gaiman. Is it Gaiman? Gaiman? I don't actually know how he pronounces it. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really care. The situation that's kind of arisen with him, and how it relates to Doctor Who. And don't be one of those people that's like, well, there's so much more important going on. How can you worry about how it relates to Doctor Who and all these women? Because it's a Doctor Who YouTube channel. I am not a therapist. I am not a psychiatrist. I have no medical training. If you want to watch a YouTube If you want to watch a YouTube video that deals with the trauma, all that they may be going through, there's other videos on YouTube that deal with that. This is a Doctor Who channel. Well, it's a sci-fi channel. It's become a Doctor Who channel. So it makes sense I'm going to talk about how it relates to Doctor Who. That's the most common sense way I can think to explain it. So we're going to deal with that. And I'm in no way trying to minimize the impact that this may have had on, especially the people involved. Probably a very negative impact. I sympathize. But there's nothing I can do about that. And I feel like that the discussion we're going to have about this is actually part of a bigger discussion. And what I think it really boils down to is, can you separate an author from their work? I think that's the main case here. And it's not just with Neil Gaiman. It's also with other people that some people might consider controversial, Roman Polanski or J.K. Rowling, or any actor that's gone through a phase, Hulk Hogan, any actor who's ever gone through a phase that's you could consider controversial, and there have been several over the decades. Whether or not you can still enjoy a piece of work that they're attached to, whether it be an actor, a writer, a director. And how far does that go? Like, say the movie Predator. I like the movie Predator. What if, gopher number 6, like someone who just goes and gets the coffee. Number 6, turns out they're a terrible person who did terrible things to people. Am I not supposed to like Predator anymore because someone that far down the chain was a nefarious person? I don't know, how far does that go? And then you also have to keep in mind that so many people are involved with a work, whether it be a play, a movie, a TV series. Do you punish everyone involved for the act of one person? Like maybe you didn't like the writer, but you also have to take into account the actors who are in it, the directors, all of the people behind the scenes who's also worked on that, who are going to get negatively affected by that, perhaps. You look at the 2 Doctor Who episodes that Neil Gaiman wrote. Matt Smith is still great in those episodes. Karen is great in those episodes. Well, Karen is great in one episode. She's in one episode. Arthur is great in that episode. The director of both of those episodes is good. Directors, I'm assuming it's different directors. Or they both direct the stories well. Do I hold them accountable because I don't like what the writer did? And this isn't me saying I have all of the answers. I don't. I'm going to touch on that. I feel like the main point is, though, can you separate the author or director or whatever from the work and still appreciate the work? And the answer to that, I feel like, is very much up to each individual person. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer to that. Objectively, I think that's up to each person to decide for themselves, and only for themselves, because the only person who can decide whether or not you can still enjoy a piece of media if someone attached to that media, especially someone strongly attached like a writer to that media, whether or not you can still enjoy that piece of media is ultimately up to you. And the only person who you should be able to have that opinion about is yourself. You should only be able to make that decision for yourself. If someone gets on YouTube and lectures me and says, well, you can't enjoy these episodes or this movie because this person directed it or this person starred it or this person wrote it, or else you're contributing to this thing they did, screw that person. Seriously, screw that person. They don't get to decide that for everybody else. They get to decide that for themselves just fine. You know, if you can't handle Harry Potter anymore because you do not like some of the statements J.K. Rowling has made, then that's fine for you. But you do not get to lecture me on it. Your ability to decide that for anyone stops at you. You get to decide that for yourself, however you want. Whether you can still enjoy Neil Gaiman's works, J.K. Rowling's works, Roman Polanski. Again, any actor who's done anything, if you can't enjoy Star Wars anymore because you don't like some of the controversial things Mark Hamill has said, like if you don't like Mark Hamill anymore because of some of his politics he's had the past few months, that's a decision you get to make for you. You don't get to make that decision for anybody else, whether you're conservative, whether you're liberal. Again, I'm neither. I'm not a Democrat or Republican. I've talked about it on the channel many times. I live in the States, but I don't identify with either party. I have some very liberal ideas and some very conservative ideas, just depending on the issue. So let's actually look at Neil's 2 Doctor Who episodes. First, I think you need to decide whether you liked these episodes in the first place, and then decide if your opinion on those episodes have changed. I have always enjoyed both of his episodes to one degree or another. The Doctor's Wife, I've always liked. I don't think it's necessarily a masterpiece. I do think it's good. I always enjoyed it. Part of it is it's directed well. I love the camera work. I love the use of lighting. I love the fact we get to see more of the TARDIS interior. I love how House, when it's in control of the TARDIS, uses some of the mechanics of the TARDIS to torture Amy and Rory, especially when we see Rory deranged and old. I feel like Matt Smith and Arthur and Karen are putting in great performances. The actress who plays the human version of the TARDIS is fantastic. A lot of this is down to her, and she nails it really well. And the chemistry between her and Matt and her character and the Doctor is very good on screen. I enjoy them together. And then even the little side characters, the 2 other little helpers there that have the mishmash of parts, they're good. I like them in this. So it's not S-tier Doctor Who. And I don't remember exactly where I placed it, because I did have a tier video where I ranked like every Doctor Who story. And I don't remember. This is probably somewhere between A and C. I don't remember. I don't think I would have put in A. It's probably either B or C tier for me. Probably B tier. I think it's good. I think it's better than average. My opinion has not changed, because I very much am someone who can separate an author from their works. Part of it helps when it comes to Neil Gaiman for me, is I've never seen any of his other stuff. The only thing I know Neil Gaiman for is these 2 episodes. I know he does Sandman. I know he does Good Omens. I've never read those. I've never watched those. I've never seen the Sandman show. I've never read Sandman. I've never watched Good Omens. I hear it's a great show. I've never watched it. I've never read it. I have no attachment to anything he's done that I can think of off the top of my head, other than his Doctor Who episodes. So that probably makes it a little easier for me, because I don't think of those 2 Doctor Who episodes as Neil Gaiman's episodes. I just think of them as Doctor Who episodes. So my opinion of them is unchanged. And again, I find The Doctor's Wife good. I still find it good. I don't think it's great. I think it's got some clever ideas and it's executed well, but it's not like an episode I just run back to. I haven't watched it in years. I don't even remember when the last time I watched it was. Probably 7 or 8 years ago. Maybe more recently. I don't remember. Not really the biggest fan of Series 6 in any way, to be honest. Nightmare in Silver, I've always found a bit underrated. It's average. I don't think it's a bad episode. It's got some annoying things in it. I don't like that the Cybermen are treated more like robots. They feel more like robots to me. The constant upgrade and progress, upgrading, is a little annoying. The kids. Oh, dear God, the bloody kids. The kids are so annoying. Oh, mother of Lord of mercy, the kids are annoying. But I like the new Cybermen design. Looks really good. I really like Matt Smith's performance in this when he's the Doctor and when he's Mr. Clever. I feel like there's good distinction between them. I like the fact that there are times when Matt Smith is acting opposite of himself when the Doctor and Mr. Clever are clashing. That's really good. I really like Matt's performance in this. I think Clara's good in this. The guy who runs the store who gets taken over is good in this. I feel like you could have done this story a lot darker if it hadn't been like super family friendly. Like, there's a darker version of this story that exists in some timeline that I probably would have enjoyed more. I do like the fact these Cybermen have upgraded to the point to where they can actually try to take over the Doctor. The little cyber mites are a neat idea. The ending of the story's fine. It's okay. It's average. It's C. If I put it in the D category, it would have been high D, low C. But still C. It's fine. And that's how I still feel about it. I think I went back and rewatched it a year or two ago. I think. It's fine. It's good. My opinion on neither story has changed. And again, that boils down to me being able to separate an author from the works. You know, I really feel like that's up to each individual person. I still, you know, I feel like if there are people out there that might not agree with J.K. Rowling, they could still possibly enjoy Harry Potter, whether it be the movies, the upcoming show, the video games. But again, that's up to them. I'm not a big Harry Potter fan to begin with. I've enjoyed the movies. I saw the movies when they came out in theater. Most of them I think I saw in theater. I enjoyed them. I don't own any of them. I've never read the books. But I still wouldn't. My opinion on the movies hasn't changed. I don't really get into politics very much. That's just not what this channel is about. I want to talk about Doctor Who. But you know, I think if you can separate an author from their works, I really just feel like that's kind of up to the individual person. Like, I'm never going to sit here and tell you the right and wrong way to do that. I mean, if you want to ask my advice on it, that's fine. I'll give you my opinion. But I don't feel it's my place to tell someone, well, you can't support this property because this person said that. But at the same time, I'm not going to sit here and say, you can still enjoy this. Don't let what these people say matter. You can still enjoy this. You should still enjoy it. Don't let them tell you what to do. No, honestly, just make up your mind for yourself. Make up your mind for yourself. Like, a perfect example is those 2 Doctor Who episodes. If you still enjoy those 2 Doctor Who episodes, that's fine. That's your choice. If for some reason you make the decision that you can't watch those 2 episodes anymore because of all of the things Neil has been, accused of doing, again, I respect that. That's your choice. You know, if for some reason you personally can't bring yourself to watch them or enjoy them, that's fair. I feel like people shouldn't be also judged for their political thoughts. I know what Carrie Underwood caught a lot of flack she performed at the inauguration. That's her business. I would never tell Carrie whether she should or should not do that. That's her business. She wants to go perform at the inauguration, go perform at the inauguration. But I'm also not going to sit here and tell you whether you should support her or not. I mean, if you want to support her, support her. If you don't, you don't. It's up to each individual person, and no one should be forcing their views on other people. That should be up for them to decide. Your views stop at you, if that makes sense. Yeah, I don't feel like this video has been as coherent as I wanted. For me personally, as I've said numerous times in the video, I'm fine separating an author from the works. I can enjoy the works for what they are. I mean, there's plenty of people out there, controversial figures. I agree with that controversial figure. And I feel like they're getting harassed unnecessarily. There are other controversial figures that I don't support at all. I might still enjoy some of their works, but I don't support them. I think they have very bad opinions and takes, and I'm not going to say which one's which way, because again, this isn't a political channel. I'm not here for that, because I mean, how many of y'all are sick of politics and YouTube anyway? We're going to talk about Doctor Who. I enjoy both of these stories. My opinion on them hasn't changed. One I find to be good, not necessarily great, but really good, and the other one I think is fine, is average, is good. C, you know. If I was going to say 5 out of 10, but people think that's bad these days. But going by that literally being the average of, 0 to 10, it's fine. Nightmare in Silver, fine. I think it's better than some people rate it. I know some people don't care for it. And that's fine. If you don't care for it, you don't care for it. So that's just where I fall on this. And of course, the Doctor Who episodes are not the most relevant thing about what's going on with him. Obviously, the alleged victims are, far more important. And that should be, of course, the focus on what's going on. I'm not trying to pull away from that. It's just, I have no medical training. I don't have any way to really speak on that. There's nothing I can do for them. I hope they all get the treatment they need, and I hope they're fine. The only thing I can talk about is his Doctor Who stuff. That's the only thing I'm really familiar with his work. And I'm fine with his episodes. So I want to know kind of what you think about whether you can separate an author from the material, or whether, an actor, maybe it's an actor that got canceled or something, or if that's the wrong word, I don't know, or a controversial actor, if for some reason, maybe you can't enjoy the original Star Wars trilogy anymore because Mark Hamill said some stuff that made you go, what? And I respect that. I firmly believe that if you feel that way and you can't enjoy that property anymore, Star Wars has much bigger problems, honestly, then I respect that. Is there any controversial person who's involved with a major project that has maybe influenced how you feel about that project, or whether or not you can separate that and still enjoy the product while not agreeing with the person? Comment down below with anything you want to comment on what we've talked on today, and let's talk about it. Don't forget to click the like button and the subscribe button as well. I also have a Patreon if you would like to support me on that. I do want to give a shout out to some of my top tier patrons: Colin Coney, Sam Venning, Unknown289, Finn Perkins, and Paul Gibbons. Ooh, I'm getting enough of them up there. I have to stop and remember all the names. I like that. That's a good thing. Paul just joined at my top tier, my limited edition tier, with Finn, my $45 tier. There were only 2 slots for that, and they have filled both of those, which I really appreciate. I also appreciate my YouTube members as well, and all of my other patrons. Several of them have been with me. Even some of the ones at the lower tiers have been with me for a long time, so I really appreciate them. I also have a P.O. box if there's anything you'd like to send me to look at and review. Link to my Amazon wish list is down there. Link to my Amazon UK wish list is also down there as well. Most importantly, thank you for watching.